Hi everyone, so this video we will go over the online tuition reimbursement process, and the online tuition reimbursement process will be a two-step process. So I will break it down into two different videos. This is a part one video and I will have a part two video later. So before we jump into the process, let's go over the background of what is tuition reimbursement. So basically, our union has a negotiation with the city, and the city agreed to put some money on the side to fund for the employee professional development. So for example, if I am an accountant right here, or if I am an analyst, I would like to take an Excel class. And this Excel class will help me to grow on my professional development. It will help with my career, and it will also help my job classifications. Most likely you will get this reimbursed, and your supervisor will approve the expenses. But at the end of the day, you always refer to your MOU. So your MOU will tell you what are those eligible expenses. Some example is that if you are an accountant, but you are taking a bowling class, it has nothing to do with your classifications and it has nothing to do with your professional development. So those are definitely ineligible expenses. So always go back to the MOU and do some research. So let's dive into the professional reimbursement process. So the first step, we always have to come to this website. So how do we get to this locations? So this is going to be the link. You can pause the video for a few seconds to type this in, or we can just do an easier way. So let's just go to Google. So in Google, I'll just put in sfgov. Oops, let's close this. sfgov tuition reimbursement. So the first link, which is the sfdhr.org online tuition reimbursement process. So this is the link. So you can just click this. So here we go. And this website gives you most of the information, but the reason I'm creating the video is just to give you some visualizations. So it's easier than reading all the text. So if you scroll down, it tells you all the information. For example, if you are traveling to another state for a conference or a training, we have a Chapter 12X prohibit us to travel to those locations, and those orange color, those are the banned state. So if you ever have a training that you have to go to Texas and attend a class, most likely you won't get reimbursed. So those are the prohibited state, so be careful. And if you go down, it'll tell you more information. It will tell you all 7 steps. It basically is a 2-step process, but they break it down into 7 detailed steps. And the very first thing you need is that you have to download a form. So for example, you have to find your union here. So for me, I am under Local 21. If you're a nurse, you might go to SEIU nurses here. You might have a different form than us. So in this case, I will go back to Local 21, I'll download a form. I'll just click this. And this is called the Employee Development Fund EDF Pre-Approval Reimbursement Form. So basically, you need to get this form filled out and approved by your supervisor. So I already filled out my form, so let's see. So this is the form I filled out. Different unions have a slightly different format, but they are basically the same. You filled out your name, your DSW number, your work address, your daytime phone, your job classification, your department name and division. And you have some items to select. What items are you going to seek for reimbursement in this case? So in this case, I'm going to seek for a 1-year CPA, CPE membership. So it's like a continual education for my license. It could be this box, membership, or it could be an external training program. So click the one that is most appropriate to your case. And of course, you have to put in the amount that you're seeking for reimbursement, one of the most important elements. And if you have a date, if applicable, you put the dates on. If you have some class, you have some training or conference, but this is going to be a 1 year unlimited membership, so there's no date. I'll just put 1 year membership in here. And you have to sign your name. In this case, I did a Adobe Acrobat signature, and I date it, and you send it to your supervisor and seek for his or her approval as well. So when you send this form to your supervisors, this is not enough. Like, your supervisor want to know like more details into your training or your class or your membership, because they want to have some supporting documents, because you don't want to approve something that is just something on this form. You want to have some supporting document to support this. So I have $149 for this membership. So when you send this form, you always send along with the supporting documents. So in this case, my supporting documents would be a screenshot from the website. So this is the 1 year CPA membership with activations. That's $149. So this is the supporting documents you need to send along with your employee development funds. So once you obtain your signatures right here, so my supervisor already approved it, what you're going to do is, let me close this. You have to go back to the online tuition reimbursement website, which is this website here. So once you got your form done, you got all the signatures and supporting document, you go back here and you scroll down. You scroll down to step 2, because step 1, it's where you get all the supporting documents, your pre-approval form and other supporting documents. Here is step 2, you have to request a pre-approval online. So you have to log in here. So if this is your first time, you have to request a login, but if this is not your first time, you probably have the account already. So just log in. So you see this website. This is the place when you have to officially request this tuition reimbursement, and you need approval from your department, your HR department. So you have to go to pre-approval request. And before you do this, of course, you want to read the instructions. You have like 3 different main steps. It's the same as the 7th step in this website. It's going to be the same thing. It's just that this is the 3 general ideas of what you can do. The first step is that you have to submit the pre-approval form request into this website. The second step is that you have to incur the expense. And the third one is to submit the reimbursement request. So as I mentioned earlier, it was a 2-step process. My 2-step process means you have to submit a pre-approval request into this website, and you have to, at the end, seek for reimbursement. So it's basically the same. It could be 7 steps, it could be 3 steps, but I like to call them a 2-step process. So let's click this pre-approval request here. So this shows you all the history of your previous tuition reimbursement request. If this is your first time, you'll see a blank page here. You will click this Submit New Applications button. So you click this. Note that you have 2 different options. The first one is saying I am requesting a college or university class. If this is the case for you, you'll click this one. But for me, I'm just seeking for a reimbursement renewal. So it's going to be in this category. So I'll just click Continue. And here, you just have to input the basic information. But if you look at the website, you see your name, your classifications, and fiscal year. And this is the employee available funds. For local Union 21, everyone has $2,000 for their employee development funds. And it is going to be a first come, first served basis. So if we look down, we see that our union balance has about $270,000 left, and you can seek for reimbursement for up to $2,000 for this fiscal year. And of course, if everyone is going to get $2,000 reimbursed, $270,000 is not going to enough to cover everybody. So it's going to be a first come first served basis. So do it as early as you can before the balance got exhausted. So back to the form. So locations, since this is an online membership, I'll just put online here. Our registration cost in this case is $149. There's no date range, but I have a membership date range, so I just put in maybe today, because I just purchased the membership today, and it will last for 1 year. So I put October 1st. Descriptions, just briefly describe your purchase. I'll just say 1 year CPA, CPA membership. And I already put 149 here. Oh, I should put 149 in the membership instead. So I just leave this nothing. And you have to attach a file, which is the form that you just completed and you got your supervisor approval, and all your supporting documents, you should attach your stuff here. So you add another file, you put browse, and let me go back to my location. So I have this form. And I have my supporting documents. So I have two attachments here. I certify that the item meet the eligibility criteria, and you have to basically check both boxes before you can move on, and you submit a request. And you have a final confirmation, submit request. And now you successfully submitted the request, and it is now pending approval by the HR unit. So it will take them some time to review it, and you always want to monitor the status here. You will always want to come back to this website, and you want to check your status. And as soon as you see approved, then you can move on to the step 2 process. But before we move on to the videos, let's just click on this and see what is going to happen. So I click this, and you see all your information here. And if you click history and notes here, you see nothing. You see this is pending, and it has 0 day. So maybe you want to follow up. If you see this being pending for like 3 or 4 weeks, you start following up with the HR unit. And I'll go back to the summary here, or I can go back to overview. So if this get approved, you should have some updated notes. So let's click on the last one. So I clicked on the previous one, which is last year. And if I click history and notes, they approved it, and they have notes over here. And this serves as an approval letter, which we need this screenshot in order to seek for reimbursement. But we'll talk about this in the step 2 video. The step 1 video basically go over how to seek for pre-approval. So this is the pre-approval process that we need HR to approve this request. So if you have any question, please let me know, or let the fiscal unit know. We'll see you in part 2 video. Thank you so much.